Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Lindsay and Aashita. If you've seen our previous videos, we did one on sustainable procurement. We decided to talk about this week the circular economy. You may have heard this term before, or maybe it's brand new to you. We're going to get into a couple of topics today.
So it is not like any linear business model, just to like when we generate some waste or when we make a product and from manufacturing, it ends up in the landfill. But this is more than that. This is taking a step further and making it a whole circular model. So there are three principles involved in circular economy. So the first is eliminate waste and pollution.
Right.
Second is circular products and materials, and the third is to regenerate nature. So if your business is following any of that three principles, you are already into circular economy.
On the screen, a visual of what the circular economy can look like, because it's a little obscure when you just think about it at first. But Aashita said it perfectly. We want to eliminate unnecessary waste, circulate things for longer, because obviously we have a finite amount of material here on Earth, and where possible, regenerate nature. And all of those things, although they sound like a bit of a burden to a company, can actually be profitable by maybe reducing your expenses or increasing your profits. One thing I want to just jump into quickly too are the 9 R's. Ashita, do you want to jump in and explain the 9 R's?
Yeah, first of all, when we think about circular economy, it comes to recyclability. People think that recycling the product is the best option, but it is the least of the worst option which you can ever think of. That was so astonishing to me when I heard that recycling is, I was like, because recycling is not an option. So there are like 9 steps. So the first step is to refuse. If you can refuse to use some products, or you can choose some different alternative and
Yes.
eliminate the waste.
So just one of my past clients, they were starting to buy those paper straws, and their customers complained about them. But they also didn't want to reintroduce plastic. So you know what they did? They just refused to buy straws. They just went strawless. So they saved
Oh,
money and they were kind of contributing to the circular economy. So
wow. And then second is to rethink. So is we have to rethink that, like Lindsay said, that they rethought, like, do they need it? They stopped using it. So make product use more intensive, like, and by just sharing the products. And the second part is reduce. So how can we reduce the waste? How can we use less toxic products and like more of natural products? And how we can like reuse, like if I go to Tim Hortons every day, like do I need to take their cup, or do I need to take my own cup? So
yes,
it's like reducing it,
totally.
reusing, like we're talking about, like if I have clothes and if I keep buying it again and again, like new clothes, and not reusing my clothes, is it good? So
Perfect example. I just bought a reused coat today.
oh,
Because it's nice and warm and someone was done with it and I was ready for one. My zipper broke. So,
yeah, that's
good
great.
example.
So going to thrift shop, like thrift shopping is the best example. I love thrift shopping.
Me too.
People have different opinions about it, but I think it adds, like, also there is one company name is Dr. Bronner. They have so many good products, but one product is like all in one, like they have 18 purposes in it.
Right.
So it's more of like reducing the use of like soaps and like other detergents, and like you just going to one thing, and they have like huge big packaging as well, so you can get it in like liters, 2 liters, whatever bottle you want,
Hmm.
and
Cool.
reuse it in your house.
That's
uh,
cool.
yeah, and repair, I think Lindsay, you want to talk about repair, like
Well, yeah, a perfect example of repair is what I tried to do with my winter coat, but it wasn't able to be repaired. Getting a new zipper didn't work out. I won't get into the details, but there's definitely a way to repair. And Patagonia is doing this really, really well. If you go to their website and you own something that's Patagonia, you can go and get a repair kit sent to you. they want you to keep those products in cycle for longer. That's a perfect example. And it's actually profitable for Patagonia to do that because they're building their brand loyalty, and there's this whole other revenue stream of repair kits that's happening. They also sell old products on a marketplace on their website. So they're getting creative, being contributing to the circular economy while making money.
I also wanted to add that, like, when you think about circular economy, it's not like you're losing money or you are like substituting it. It's more of like you are going to add value to your business as well as profitability, because according to Ellen Foundation, they said that it will create up to $4.5 trillion dollars, and it will also create millions of new jobs and opportunities. It's not just Ellen, the ILO, the International Labour Organization, also said that there will be a net creation of 18 million green jobs by 2030. So
okay, so why should small businesses care about the circular economy? They've got lots of problems already. Why should they spend time and effort on this? Well, I can kind of think of two reasons. I guess I'll start this one. Aashita, jump in anytime. The first one I'm seeing is laws and mandates that are here or coming, or incentives. So new laws are coming out all the time, all over the world. It's actually pretty amazing. We'll talk about that, what the government is doing, but companies are starting to, if they're big, they have to start reporting on their greenhouse gas emissions. They have to their largest customers, maybe to their bankers or investors. They have to meet the things they promised publicly on their website or in a press release about, getting to net zero by 2025 or 2030. People are starting to hold them accountable. And so the circular economy is a smart way for them to start thinking about reducing their emissions and maybe saving some money or using less product. There's definitely mandates coming all over. One, for example, is the right to repair, which we'll talk about in a minute.
I would like to add to it, like, why small businesses? Because most of the companies, majority of the companies, like we talked about in Bob Willard's session, like 98 to 99% of the businesses are SMEs. So it is very important for SMEs to see like they contribute to a very larger portion in the economy, as well as like the waste is also very large. And how it can, like, why should they care? So it can help them reduce cost, increase revenue, enhance customer loyalty. By enhancing customer loyalty, I mean, like, I saw this post just like today itself. It said that people will pay 12% more premium price for sustainable products. So if you are going sustainable, people will pay more, and at the same time you are contributing to your business and helping the environment, which is all sustainability is about. And it will also help you innovate new things in the direction, like you can look to your competitors as well, what they are doing right now, and you can create your own things, which is amazing.
I think so. No, definitely. And I keep going back to this, but like doing this is profitable. So on the screen, I'll throw up a P&L statement. And when you think about how business makes money, it's revenue and expenses equals profitability. So, by joining the circular economy and publicizing that they're doing good, like actually doing good, not greenwashing, that they're starting to reduce their emissions, or they're buying way less, they've gotten more efficient, then they can actually increase their margins by differentiating in the marketplace. Like that's real. It really does happen. And also when you look at their expenses, if they're suddenly buying less because they can manufacture in a more efficient way, that reduces expenses. And again, right, it can contribute to the bottom line, which is profitability. So the circular economy is interesting, but what is government doing in relation to circular economy? I've seen a couple things. Aashita, I know you have too. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So government is doing a lot of things, but majorly government is starting from banning single-use plastic.
So I've also noticed that just in the last year here in Canada, Bill C-244 passed unanimously in Canada. And that means that the right to repair for a customer or consumer has to be there. So if you're a tech company and you're making a phone, for example, the customer needs to be able to repair it in some way. That's the new legislation. Basically, why do we do this? Well, this is happening in other countries too. I know obviously Europe has been ahead of us in sustainability for a while. They already have a right to repair movement, but the reason we do it is consumers buy too much. Everybody knows this. We buy too much, we waste too much. So if a customer buys a blender and a piece of the blender breaks, traditionally we would just throw it away and go buy a new blender, but that's such a waste. And there's been a couple of roadblocks for people. So maybe parts aren't available, it's very annoying, it's too confusing to repair it, all these kind of reasons, right? Or maybe the product wasn't built to last long. So this new right to repair scenario is that the parts should be available, maybe to be 3D printed in an open source way, or they should be readily available or anybody can create them, and that the way to repair is open source as well, and that it's easy. So I can repair my own blender and I can make it last for a long time.
First is like getting more awareness, education, and like you can go read articles, learn from the best practices which are going on right now, and then understanding how can this specific thing impact your business. So the best thing which we do is like going out to the competitor, the highest competitor who is in the business right now, and following their lead and what they're trying to do. And maybe if we can do just 1 or 2 points which they are doing, you can get started.
Like think about the most savvy businesses, cutting edge businesses out there in every industry. They're thinking this way. Yeah. So you can start small. A funny example, I was on site at a client a few weeks ago and they had some skids out back. So skids from their product. And they typically would just get rid of them. But already they've been thinking, because we're working together in sustainability mode, and they're wondering, what can we do with those skids? Can we repurpose them? Do we need them to begin with? Can we refuse them? Like all of these options are now coming up in their minds, which could potentially save them money. So I think once we just get the ball rolling and people thinking about this, it'll unlock unique ways that your business could take part.
Perfectly said. I totally agree to this. Also, circular economy is not a choice, but a chance which small businesses can make it happen.
So yeah, definitely take some time if you're interested in this topic, and you can go to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation and learn more, or reach out to us and tell us your industry, and we'll send you some circular economy examples that are relevant to you.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, and if you guys have any other topic ideas, we are open to it. And if you have any other questions, please comment and let us know. We are happy to answer that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.